So
Cannon fire.
can't unflex. I can't. Just stuck this way. Just gotta.
You Daniel Craig now? Sweet. Alright, so we're back from Skyfall. Which I thought was really, really good. I enjoyed the movie. Javier Bardem made me shit my pants several fucking times.
He's a very intimidating man.
You can't tell me he didn't make you shit your pants at least twice.
Oh, alright. But only twice.
You can't blame it on Letty. She's sitting right there.
Hey, babe.
God, I'm gonna fix the lighting real quick. Go ahead. You didn't like the movie?
Alright, well, I gotta call out elephant in the room on this, an elephant in the room. Daniel Craig runs really funny, and he runs a lot. That's my big complaint, yep.
His running? I thought he ran fine. I like Daniel Craig as James Bond.
I just like, he looked... This is like the smallest nitpick in the fucking world.
Yeah, was his running.
But he runs really goofy.
So did Lazenby. Lazenby had
punching the sky there. He's like, I don't know what he's doing.
Lazenby had kind of a goofy run.
Like that really high step. It's like he's trying to chase down.
Well, to be fair, he was running on ice, and he was running away from a train.
And he was running on a train, and he was down the street.
See, you try not having a goofy run if you're running on top of a train. It's not that easy. It's really hard. You try keeping your composure during that shit.
All I'm saying, it looked like he was trying to chase down a T-1000.
He was trying to chase down a T-1000?
Yeah, he figured the best way to do it would be to run just like him.
Yeah, that's true. I kept wondering why they kept sending back the same model of Terminator. Meanwhile, the villains keep getting upgraded. But no, I thought it was. I enjoyed the hell out of the movie. I thought it was genuinely really suspenseful. One of my favorite things about it was the villain.
Yeah, I mean, Javier Bardem is just fucking great. Like, no matter what style of a character he's playing, he's always really good. And I love how he managed to make, I forget what they said his actual name is, Mr. Silver.
Uh-huh.
They managed to make him as flamboyant as he was, just as fucking intimidating as, like, Anton Chigurh was in fucking No Country.
With the, like, crossed with a little Max Zorin.
Yeah,
that sweet blonde hair.
That's kind of like my big thought is, like, he's a cross between Max Zorn and
Dutra. From the New Kids.
Well, and considering, like, the backstory of his character, kind of like Max Zorn meets what was Sean Bean's character?
Oh, Trevelyan.
Trevelyan.
Yeah, because rogue, former agent, yeah.
But just instead of, being very straightforward and job-oriented...
Is the opposite of straightforward.
Okay,
Is that what you were going to say?
He's evil, gay James Bond.
It was fantastic because it was the first time in any James Bond movie that I thought the villain was going to rape James Bond. The first time. I've never thought that. Like, I never watched Goldfinger and was like, he's going to stick it up Bond's ass. Like, I never...
It's the only way that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know what he's going to do with that fucking laser. You can't fucking fool me. No, but yeah, that whole weird, like... It was a great scene. It was a really great scene, and it's the first scene where Javier Bardem shows up in the movie, and he's got one of the best entrances of a Bond villain I've seen. Like,
could that fucking hallway have been longer?
They had to be long because I love the way it was shot.
Like
because
a 15-page monologue.
As he's walking up to James Bond, and it's all in one shot. Like,
yeah, he did fantastic.
Yeah, it was all one shot and ends like bam right on his face. Like, fuck me, that's a grand fucking entrance because really. It almost had to be a grand entrance, because he arrives maybe halfway into the movie or longer.
Yeah, it takes a fucking while before he actually gets there.
Yeah, and once he's there, he's more or less there to stay. I mean, there's periods where he's not, but he's certainly a prominent figure. But it was worth the build-up for that. Fuck me, where he's walking out there, gives that speech about rats and shit, and then starts, like, feeling up and caressing Bond's scars, and, like, spreads apart his legs and shit. Like, what the fuck? This is awesome.
At first, like, he kind of, like, moves his shirt a little bit, and, like, looking at, like, this big scar. And I'm like, it's like, oh, okay, well, I mean, he knew James got shot, so I mean, he's looking at that. But then he's, like, tracing his fingers, and, like, kind of, like, tickling his neck a little bit. I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, you know, something I actually think this would be really, really fun is I would have loved to seen, like, a couple of, like, you know, this guy's movies, you know?
Yeah.
It's like elite super spy from, like, you know, the weird, like, British Hong Kong branch back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, whisking off to, like, Monte Carlo.
He's Roger Moore's James Bond.
But then just, like, a really, like, ripped dude coming out of the water, taking off, like, the scuba gear. Like, let's get different.
That would be fantastic. Might as well have been like that in the Roger Moore era. So the movie did, I mean, if anyone doesn't know, I'm a huge fucking James Bond fan. Right? Yeah. In case this is the first video of mine that anyone has ever seen, I'm a huge James Bond. I'm looking at my autographed Lazenby poster, Lazenby action figure right up there. Got my sweet VHS of The Living Daylights. I got the DVDs over there.
There's a few things around.
Yeah. So I liked a lot of the things that this movie did. I liked the opening sequence where Bond more or less loses. It gets shot. I mean, they did that similar in Die Another Day as well. I thought this movie did it better. I thought this movie did that whole sequence better because not only does he kind of lose at the opening scene of the movie and he's shot and they think that he's dead, he is a fucking like alcoholic and shit and is all like burnt out to fucking Christ, and like there's this whole sequence where he's
fuck it, I'm just gonna live in Turkey now.
Yeah. With fucking Turkish James Bond. And so there's this whole sequence where he comes back and he's like the whole first act of the movie. He's got a sweet 5 o'clock shadow and bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, I like that they didn't do anything about that. They're just like, fucking, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah. And so
puts on this suit and is like, there, I'm dressed. What more do you want?
He's still
I'm James Bond. James Bond, fuck it. Fuck you.
And he's still got bloodshot fucking eyes. Like, he's fucking hungover as shit. I really like that. I thought that was done really, really well. And one thing, too, is... I don't want to get into the entire plot, but basically what you need to know is Javier Bardem fucking wants M dead. That's all you need to know. So, what I like too is that Javier Bardem's character is so scary and intimidating that it's a James Bond movie that I was watching, and for many points in the film, I was like, he might actually get away with this shit. Like, there's several points in the film where I thought he's gonna fucking win. I mean, I don't think he's going to survive the movie, but he could still succeed at what he's trying to do.
Honestly, I was really hoping he'd pull it off and get away. I mean, that's like what I was pulling for the whole time. Is like, once he comes out, he's so fucking like over the top. And just like in this very peculiar way, like. Like, he's not going out there like fucking Truman Capote and shit. But, I mean, he just has...
Mr. Bond.
But he's got this very certain way about him, and, like, he likes dragging shit out, but at the same time, he is very to the fucking point. Like, that, odd, like, scene with them, like, dueling or whatever.
With the shot on the girl's head, that was great because it had that like fucking what was that, like World War II music playing in the background? That was awesome. That was intense as shit.
I don't know where the fuck they were at, but it was like this chemical plant island city. Fucking somewhere. There's like this toppled statue of what I can only assume was V.I. Lenin. I don't know. I don't know who else.
It did look suspiciously like the St. Petersburg level from GoldenEye.
Like, I don't know who else had giant statues of them made.
Yeah.
And were also bald.
Yeah. That was fucking, and then his helicopter coming in at the end. He might as well have been playing like Little Richard from Predator. Yeah. Like, yeah. It's like, that would have been awesome. He's got like fucking music blaring on loudspeakers, and his helicopter comes in and shoots up the places.
He comes in like it's fucking Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Fuck! And he's tossing fucking bombs and shit in that house.
Just not even giving a shit. He's like walking by, like, click.
Yeah. This is... It is one of the best Bond villains I've honestly seen. And the movie itself, I really like the movie. I mean, I just saw it, so I kind of want to give it some time before I would rank it where I would rank it amongst the others.
Now, this might be biased since I just saw it, but best ever.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm not going to fucking do that.
No flaws. Didn't see it.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it's flawless. I'm not going to say that. But look, I liked it better than Quantum of Solace. And I liked Quantum of Solace. That got a lot of shit. But I liked it. I mean, it was a little too Jason Bourne-y for my taste. But
yeah, see, I still haven't seen that one.
I like
whatever fucking reason.
It didn't go over too well at all. I didn't think it was that bad. It's not as good as Casino Royale, but Daniel Craig was really good. I liked that it was a sequel to the other one. You hadn't really seen that before a lot. The closest would be like Moonraker, only because it's got Jaws in it. But the villain was really. I thought the villain was really good in Quantum of Solace. It had a pretty good firefight at the end in this. It was like a hotel complex or something. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as good as Casino Royale, but I didn't think it was as awful. Skyfall, I think, is a lot better. Like I said, my big complaint about Quantum of Solace is really it was like a Jason Bourne movie with James Bond instead, and I'm not really a Jason Bourne fan. But this movie though is definitely a James Bond movie.
Well, but I like though, like it is definitely keeping going with like the sort of bucking of trends that they've been doing with the Daniel Craig ones, where it's not like, and they do kind of point it out right on the fucking nose, but it's not like, oh, here's my wristwatch, it's got a laser in it, and here's my pin that when I turn it this way, it sets off a gas grenade.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do all that shit. Like, here, it's a gun. I don't know, what the fuck do you want?
I like that. Yeah.
A gun, he never even shoots. Like, he loses it immediately.
He's got the little radio, too. The only difference...
that thing was like this big. It was the size of like an
Especially since he couldn't put it in the heel of his shoe like Sean Connery did in Goldfinger. Yeah, that's what Q gives a hipster Q. A young hipster Q. Like, oh, it's this exploding kind of PBR. Mind yourself, Bond. You will smell like piss afterwards.
He looked like Jay Baruchel.
You would go crossed with Doctor Who.
Well, you're just saying that because he's British.
I'm saying that because he looked a little like Matt Smith. Yeah, because he's British. Oh, man. Daniel Craig looks totally like one of those older guys who played Doctor Who. Sylvester McCoy. You didn't think I knew any names, did you?
I'm surprised.
I know a few. Lazenby was the best.
No, I remember when he was. Doctor Who. Like,
that would have been great.
Good times.
I would have loved that. I mean, he would have only lasted for one season, but I would have thought he was the best.
A problem I had with this movie is that it's kind of disproportionate in how good it is. In that I think they wasted so much time making such a great villain that the rest of it kind of flags. Like, it feels very like, if you take out the parts with Javier Bardem, just take all that out, it's just a very boring movie.
Well, you could... well, the strength of many Bond movies is the villain.
Well, true. But, I mean, there's really... If you take out his character, even if you switched out and just didn't make him so larger than life...
If he was like a lame villain.
Yeah, if he was just like a straightforward... Or even like a decent villain, like Alex Trevelyan from GoldenEye. I mean, it would have seemed kind of dull. Like, it was very much dealing with like the sort of like inner workings and politics of current day Britain and everything, which I don't know, maybe that's more entertaining over there, but it felt, I don't know, it felt like watching C-SPAN at certain parts.
That didn't bother me. I didn't have a problem with that. I do think that the best part of the movie is the villain, but I could say that about many movies that I really, really like. I think Javier Bardem is at least one of the best parts of the movie. But even without him, because like we said earlier, he really doesn't come into it till halfway into the film at the least. I still really liked the movie up until that point.
Well, yeah, I liked the build to him. Like, I think it would have been selling itself short if it had immediately come out with him in the bad guy. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, I felt like it did kind of go on a bit long. Like, I mean, they set up and resolved several different plot lines before they ever actually got around to, like, oh, fuck, right, there is a main villain to this. Shit, our bad, we forgot. Have him go to the island.
I do think that, I mean, granted, I didn't think that much of the movie really lagged. I wasn't really bored during a lot of it. The stuff before Javier Bardem comes in, I still thought was really solid. I liked the different psychological angles they were going with James Bond, and also I was really taken in by how beautiful the movie looks.
Well, yeah, it's shot fantastically, and like the locations and everything.
That whole Shanghai, is that what that whole sequence they were in, that was really stunning looking.
Yeah, the visuals are top notch and very impactful. But like, that's what I mean is like, you could honestly like, that whole first part leading up to like Shanghai before he goes to that island. I mean, that's practically its own separate movie.
I didn't have a problem with that. I mean, because it without that, I thought it would have been, well, I don't think it would have been a standard Bond movie, but you wouldn't have had as much character in James Bond that I thought the first part of the movie gave. But I do know what you're saying in the sense that, honestly, I thought the movie was pretty much resolving in the courthouse sequence. Like, when Javier Bardem bursts in and goes after M and is shooting up the place in that whole firefight, I honestly thought the movie was about over.
Yeah, it definitely gives a feel, and like, it builds to a crescendo. But, yeah, it kind of left me a bit off, because, like, it built, and then it's just kind of like, no, we're not done yet. But wait, there's more.
It did do that, yeah. Like, it did throw me off in that there was more, but what it had when they go to,
I mean, the extra stuff is really
I thought
good.
Was really good. In fact, the extra stuff that it has when they get to Skyfall at the end, that whole extra sequence I thought was great. I'm glad it was there, even though I thought a half hour prior the movie was nearing complete. But when it did get there, it was still really, really good to me. It even got more into Bond's backstory, really, that a lot more so than a lot of the previous ones did. In that this movie really, it shows you, hey, James Bond is his name. You know, there's always that thing like, oh, is James Bond just like a rank and like they're all different or something like that. But no, in this, you see that it is his name.
And that honestly really bugs me.
Did that bug you?
Well, because the like multiple Bond idea out there, it makes a lot of sense. It helps cover for a lot of stuff. Why there's always like changing cast, but like,
Yeah.
certain like mainstays
Uh-huh.
like M and Q are always the same throughout like
Uh-huh.
the old ones for the most part.
No.
But and especially with the way that like when they're talking to Javier Bardem's character, they mention like they name him, you know, like say his name is Mr. Silver,
Mm-hmm.
but then actually mention like, oh, but his actual name is this, but he was operating
Well,
under the name Mr. Silver. So like,
It could still be a rank. Maybe it's his last name just happens to be Bond. It could still be a rank, just coincidence.
like when they did that, I especially thought like, okay, maybe they're actually going to set up that. Yeah, that's his assigned code name to go with
Yeah.
007.
Uh-huh.
But then, like, nope. Like, the ancestral home of the Bond family.
It didn't bother me because
like
if
the
you
caretaker there was like,
Albert
James
Finney.
Bond!
James Bond.
Like, wait.
Well, I mean,
I'll
it
get
was
that in a
never.
second.
I mean, but it was never a set thing that it was like a code name. But believe I do like that. I do like that theory. I do because it honestly does make
fits
sense.
really well. And it makes
does
so
make
all
sense.
of them go together.
It doesn't bug me that this
'Cause-
movie said his name was James Bond. I mean, that didn't really bug me any. Because, I mean, you could still... Maybe
Completely
it's
ignore this.
maybe it's just... Yeah, you could still say, like, well, maybe the other ones, it is a code name. His name just happens to be James Bond. See? There you go. Problem solved. It's a huge coincidence. If a CIA agency, or MI6, if an
They
agency...
only hire men named James Bond.
No, if an agency
And
like
who are
this,
orphans.
if they have a code name, you know, odds are eventually there's going to be an applicant who has that name. Might as well let him keep it. It's easier for everybody if he just keeps the name. They get their code name, and he doesn't have to change his name. See, it's really He really did him a favor by actually being named James Bond.
Yes, I can only assume that they were sitting there fucking MI6 like, hey. No shit. No fucking way. This guy is applying
Yeah.
and is fucking... Dude, call Jim. He's gotta see this. Get him down here. Fucking I'll fax it to him.
It'd be Rob's character. Which, by the way, Rob is great in this movie.
Yeah, Rob Walker as M's aide-de-camp or whatever the hell he is.
Rob's fantastic in the movie.
Her Guy Friday.
One thing, they made a big deal before this movie came out about that he's like drinking Heineken. And they made such a big deal about it that most people are under the impression that he's drinking that instead of a martini. That's not the case. It shows him drinking a Heineken when he's in bed with that girl in a scene where he wouldn't have been drinking a martini. Like,
I'd love to see him like this random like humble,
fucking turkey, like
just bang some like Turkish farm girl,
Yeah.
lays down on a mattress that's basically just wood slats with a blanket over the top.
Yeah.
It's like Olive.
No, he's just laying there in bed like a turkey, and he's just got it like kind of sitting right there. Later on in the movie, he has his martini, but it honestly was more distracting for me whenever Rob drank it, because one, real Rob would never do that, and two, because it's going through all this like action stuff with this chase with Javier Bardem and everything, and then it cuts back to Rob back at MI6, and he's just
Work, booze,
Yeah.
work.
so thirsty. I like George Lazenby actually said something about the Heineken thing. He said something like, well, if he's gonna drink a beer, couldn't he at least drink a good one?
Can you at least drink a British one?
Yeah.
Like have like a Newcastle
Have a
Brown or
Newcastle.
something.
Yeah. I'll send you some fucking Newcastle. I got some in the fridge.
Honestly, it wouldn't have been distracting. I mean, I wouldn't have even really thought much about it. I mean, I'm always nitpicking shit for product placement, but it it would have been less distracting if it was anything that was a brown bottle.
Uh-huh.
But just suddenly seeing, like, these very stark surroundings, and then just this neon green bottle just coming up and down in the frame, like, well, you can't help but look right the fuck at it.
Yeah, when everything else in the room is, like, piss brown and dilapidated and shit like that, and he found a Heineken somewhere.
Well, and then whenever Rob's having one there, like, at the MI6 office, it's just white walls, white everything, just all clinical looking, and then just him leaning against the desk. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it just, like, oh, hey, there it is. It's all the bottle.
Oh, I kept hearing...
You just cannot look at it.
I kept hearing you groan at all the different references that it was making. I kept seeing him die next to me.
Fucking, like, like, they would set something up from a mile fucking out. And then just, like, as soon as they would say, like, that one thing, you're like, oh, no,
Moneypenny. Moneypenny, yeah. Well, I guess now Moneypenny has a backstory.
And apparently,
did you ever look at Lois Maxwell and were like, oh, clearly she used to be a field agent and was an ace sniper.
Not a good sniper.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, clearly she was a field agent, and then that one time totally banged.
Yeah. I didn't care much for the Moneypenny thing.
I mean, at least he didn't do, like, the, like, thing with the hat.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden he's wearing the old hat. That would have been hilarious.
But like that was just too fucking much for me. Like all of a sudden, like it's like this entire movie, and I did think twice about the fact that they never ever addressed her by name.
I didn't think that either.
Because honestly, like, I'm sure they must have fucking said it. I know they said it a couple times, but I could not tell you what, like, M's assistant name was.
It's Rob.
Well,
it's Rob Walker. You know Rob.
Well, I mean, his character name.
Oh, the executor.
Oh, that's right. That was just, I don't know, shit like that, or like, it's like, we need to do things the old way. These new cars are like tracking things. Here, let me break out my fucking Aston Martin.
That
DB5.
didn't bother me. I liked that. I liked the Aston Martin reveal, but they put it. At least with the Aston Martin, they put it to use. Like he did put it to use at the end of the film. I mean, it did actually come into play during the scene, and I did like too when it blew up. When it blew up, and it cuts to Bob, and like, boom, revenge music started playing. I really like the Aston Martin thing.
They're like destroying everything near and dear to him. He doesn't care. They blow up his old car.
They blow up the Aston Martin. Oh shit! Shit just got fucking real. No, that I didn't have a problem. I
driven that one since his wife died.
Yeah, right. It's really sentimental to him.
He knew there was a suicide mission for that car.
I liked the Aston. I liked bringing back the Aston Martin. I liked that. I thought that was fun. Again, like I said, I thought it paid off. And with him, and I like the music kicking in too. Is there?
Something like for the first time in the fucking movie, it goes into like the old theme. Mm-hmm. Like there's like some like hidden little garage of his. Like,
why not?
Like I would have.
He is James. You're finding it hard to believe that James Bond has an Aston Martin.
Well, no, but it seemed weird that suddenly it was like, it's like, you know, flip up the handle on the shifter, and it's got like the ejector seat button, and they're making fucking ejector seat jokes, and like, I mean, it has like the flip down headlights with the machine guns and shit. I mean,
that made me laugh.
Like, I don't know, if you're gonna go for a joke like that, honestly, I think I would have appreciated it more if they went whole hog, like up, like hanging on the wall is like the fake alligator suit from Octopussy. Like shit like that. Like,
you still would have groaned at that. You can't fool me, motherfucker. If they fucking open that thing, and there was like
that one bitch still painted gold.
There was like dudes fucking nut cruncher hands from fucking Live and Let Die. You still would have fucking groaned if that shit was in the background.
It's like, oh, sorry, left this old hat in the seat. No, my statue. Oh, why do I keep all this shit in here?
Why do I keep all this shit? He's still got some gold from Fort Knox. The one that he threw at Oddjob. Yeah.
Shoe phone, fuck, that's not mine.
Yeah, he's got Neil Connery's hypnotism watch hidden in there too. The Aston Martin thing I thought was fine. There were a couple of times where I was sort of like, really? Like,
I think it mostly just got to me like the fact like it's like, oh, let's do something older. Rolls it back, flips on the light, and you just see like this. I mean, granted, it's a beautiful Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you're like, like.
I liked that. That was fun. I thought that was fun.
Oh shit, he's finally James Bond.
Well, now in most James Bond movies, that particular theme doesn't kick in until way late into the movie. In GoldenEye, it doesn't kick in till the tank. In On Her Majesty's Secret Service, it does a little bit at the beginning, but then mainly at the end when he goes in to save Tracy.
When shit's happening, not like, oh, here's my old car.
Shit was fucking happening. It was the return of the Aston Martin. How's that not shit happening? Would you have been really pissed if, like, okay, spoiler alert, if, like, they had, like, a funeral for M at the end, and it was, like, all the James Bonds were there? Like, Pierce Brosnan, George Lazenby.
Fucking D-Dalt's back.
Fucking D-Dalt's in there. Like, all of them just back. Neil Connery.
That would have been great.
They're the pallbearers, right?
Just have, like, a bunch of graves, just M, have a couple Q's out there.
Yeah, that's right. She's buried right next to Bernard Lee. Of course. But would you like it if that happened? Like they're all fucking pallbearers and shit.
That would have been really good.
Mm-hmm. George Lazenby's. I hate funerals.
She's sleeping now. She's just sleeping.
We have all the time in the world. That's on the tombstone.
You're just sitting there chipping that in there.
I did like that they had the balls to do that. To actually do that at the end. I like that. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Once she's sitting there bleeding, yeah, you know how it's going to end. But
see, the thing for me, and this is where I get really fucking off on things.
Lazenby did it better.
Is Lazenby did it better? No. Well, but no, the thing that gets me is with them keeping, like, Judi Dench in that when they did Casino Royale.
Uh-huh.
It felt like a new story, but with having returning characters, it felt like it was, in a way, supposed to be a continuation
So
of the
now with her
ones.
dead, it's like, clearly Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan are two different people.
Yeah, which means that, like that's just weird. That's like, it'd be like if they were doing the, like, in the remake for, like, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
If it was an all-new cast, but then still Tobey Maguire, it wouldn't make fucking sense. And that's why that's why I just assumed, and maybe that's my fault for assuming, but it seemed like with her staying in the same role as M, it felt like it was supposed to be a continuation. But then this one literally ending, and again, we're past
Casino
Royale point part here, but like at the end, suddenly it's like whenever it's like, oh, but my name's whatever the fuck, Moneypenny, and like hanging up his coat, and you start noticing like, fuck, this is the old Office from like the Sean Connery days.
Yeah.
And, like, there's the big fucking, like, for whatever reason, leather padded door.
That was awesome.
And
they brought
goes
back
in,
the
it's
door.
like the old office and all
Yeah.
that shit. I'm like, wait, so this was a all this has been prequel? Are we now back to the beginning? So it's not that Pierce Brosnan is now Daniel Craig, it's that Daniel Craig will one day be like Lazenby and Sean Connery and all that going forward.
Yeah, you didn't pick up on that the movie takes place in 1959 before Dr. No.
I had fucking, I had hunches. They were, writing was on the wall, but no, you can see where that's really fucking confusing.
Not really, not if you think of the other movies having taken place after the year 2012.
After the fall of mankind? What?
Oh, that's 2019. After the fall of New York. That's a completely different series.
Like, it is very fucking confusing.
It's a James Bond film. I mean, continuity's never the fucking strong suit of these movies.
Okay, and granted, yeah, and it is all over the place.
Yeah.
And, at the best of times, it hasn't made... I'm not going to say perfect sense. I'm not even going to say fucking fair sense.
In terms of continuity, no.
Well, this is going into it's starting to be on the same level continuity wise as like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Each one,
which are awesome.
Each one assumes that it is the first one, and fuck you if you think otherwise.
Yeah.
Just because there's a 2 or a 3 in the title, don't mean shit. I don't know.
Or a 3D in the title. I know what you mean. That doesn't bother me. I totally know what you mean, because I thought that in Casino Royale, where it's his first time as an agent, and if he is James Bond, and this is not just a rank that they give to people, then that sets it up even in Casino Royale that it's a prequel.
Well, yeah, but like I say, and that was the thing that I've thought since they started with the Daniel Craig ones that kind of supports that, is that it, with it being the same with Judi Dench and MI6 with the giant fucking wall screens and shit like it's fucking NASA control center.
Well,
it felt like it was still
continuing.
It was still going on, except they brought in a new James Bond. And even the way they were treating him, the fact they're making it seem like, oh yeah, we've had other agents before, but you're crazy and shit. We shouldn't be using you. She calls him a mad dog or something like that.
You're a loose cannon.
You're off the wall. You're off the wall. You're off the case.
You're off the case, James. Hand in your badge.
Have the Prime Minister squarely up my bum. Slam.
Oh, bugger off, Chief.
But it, like I say, it just feels weird. It's like when other movies suddenly pull a big switch like that.
It doesn't fuck with me that much because the series has been doing stuff like that for a long time. In this particular case, believe me, I know what you mean because I was thinking similar things when I first saw Casino Royale. I still really like the movie, but these movies have never, in continuity, made any kind of sense whatsoever. So here, with it still not making a whole lot of sense, that doesn't really bug me. Yeah, it's a fun thing to think about, but it doesn't take away anything from me, because even if, okay, this is taking place before Dr. No and all of them, even with that being said, it still doesn't make sense, because he's got the Aston Martin from Goldfinger in this movie, which wasn't made until the events of Goldfinger. So, these movies have no continuity. Dude, my show has, better continuity than the James Bond movies. That's kind of fun about James Bond movies, because they have cartoonish-ass continuity. It doesn't bug me.
Yeah, because, the new Q mentioning...
he mentions the pen.
It's oh, we're expecting an exploding pen. We've kind of moved away from gimmicky toys and shit.
That I was mentioning earlier about a couple of them that sort of made me groan in terms of references. It didn't do stuff like that to me as bad as Die Another Day did, which literally referenced every single one of them prior to that. But the exploding pen joke is alright.
Because his old stuff made no sense.
Well, the exploding pen, it's from I was like a reference to GoldenEye. Just how else is Alan Cumming gonna get killed? he's gotta knock that fucking. He's gotta fucking freeze him to death and shit.
I don't know if it was just a ballpoint pen that the. I mean,
I'm invincible.
He probably still would have got shot like a minute or two later, but
yeah. That
he
kind of
wasn't
made me
getting
groan
out
a little bit, but overall, I honestly really loved the flick. I thought it was a really suspenseful ass thriller. I loved what they did with the Bond character in the movie. I mean, yeah, they've done similar types of thing in the past, like with him kind of being all broken down and shit. They've done that past. This one, I thought it did better than some of the other ones did in that regard.
Yeah.
I thought the villain's one of the best Bond villains I've ever seen, and I liked one of the things I like about Daniel Craig. And it's also one of the reasons why Timothy Dalton was one of my favorites. Really, they're both cut in the same mold. I mean, they're both very similar James Bonds. Is that both are very much a more vulnerable James Bond. I mean, they get hurt, they get injured, dramatic shit happens to them. That's why I like Lazenby a lot, too. They certainly, with Lazenby and Dalton and Daniel Craig, they very much humanize James Bond, and I really like it whenever that happens. And in this, with the end with him and M, where she's dying, that was done really well. I mean, yeah, you can't help but think about On Her Majesty's Secret Service when that is happening, which, in my opinion, is by far one of the best scenes from any James Bond movie. Is the end of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but this did that well too. It was a really sad scene, and it's for me, it's always, I like it whenever something like that happens with the James Bond character. I mean, yeah, it's really fun when you get like Sean Connery's portrayal as James Bond, which is great, which is awesome. It's very, very fun and entertaining. Yeah, that's fun. And those are great movies, those are classics, those are some of the best James Bond, but I do also love it whenever you get a much more vulnerable, whether it's from violence or romance, much more...
everything just doesn't come so fucking easy.
Yeah, that's the kind of James Bond that I really, really like. I mean, I'm an all-around James Bond guy anyway, so I think that no matter what actor has played James Bond, I think that those movies were very much suited to their strengths. I mean, my least favorite is Roger Moore, but that's primarily because I thought he played him too long. I thought in the earlier Roger Moore ones, I thought he fit those movies fine. The attitude of those movies fit fine with him.
Yeah, by the time I got to, like, View to a Kill...
Oh, View to a God, by the time it got to Octopussy. Or, For Your Eyes Only. I thought he played the character too long, but the movies always usually tend to play to the strengths of the actor who's playing them, and there's good things you can say about any of them, even though, like, Roger Moore's my least favorite of the ones who's played James Bond. Man with the Golden Gun is one of my favorite Bond movies.
Again, though, I think that one's really benefited by having a really good villain.
It is. Yeah, it is. Christopher Lee and aside from the villain too, because Max Zorn was a great villain, but that was still a piece of shit movie.
It was definitely a Bond film for the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kindest way to put it.
It was.
There was no way that the 80s would have happened the way they did, and that wouldn't have been the James Bond.
For 1985.
Yeah. I mean, it was just fucking impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But for, like, a 1985 crowd, that was perfect.
Then 2 years later, we got T-Dults as a fucking killer.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Fucking cold as shit.
Yeah, fucking cold as shit. Oh, smooth ace fucking killer. Oh, man, I fucking love Timothy. Timothy Dalton was one of my favorites. So I really, really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Do you recommend it? In terms of movies where you really, really like the villain, the rest of the movie maybe not so much. Was it better than Alex Cross?
See, that was one of those setups, like in the movie. As soon as you turn to me like that, I'm like,
I'm gonna make it Alex. This is gonna go Alex Cross.
Cross.
Did you like it better than Alex Cross?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure that was Daniel Craig's voice. and this happened while you were you stepped over to hit the restroom.
Yeah.
The old dude, the caretaker. There's a scene with him like has a fucking double barrel shotgun in a vise, and he's hacksawing the end of it off. Dude looked so much better and cooler doing it than fucking Tyler Perry.
That's because
did.
it's fucking Albert Finney. Fucking dude fought the wolf in. Yeah, you can saw a fucking shotgun in half.
He just got his fucking Kris Kringle ass there, just saw that. Clink! Boom! Yeah, that works.
And
He's like, oh shit. He's like, that looks much like... He looks like he knows what he's doing. Tyler Perry's like, so I just... Like this? Like this? Like this? Like this? This is fucking hard, guys. Are you rolling? God.
You fucking always make me laugh at the worst possible times. Like when fucking M at the end when she falls into like Bond's arm and he looks over at Albert Finney and you're sitting there like, oh my god, why'd you shoot her?
Like, Albert Finney just like oh.
Oh my god, why'd you shoot her?
And the look James gives her like,
like you
like
thought Albert Finney shot her.
very accusatory glance. Well, I mean, as far as Bond knows, because he definitely saw Silver not killing her, not even trying to hurt her, and she said that she was fine.
Not even trying to hurt her. They were gonna do a murder-suicide when he walked in.
She had the gun. That's all I'm saying. He was concerned, like, oh,
evidence.
What did they do to you? What did they do? Like fixing her hair and shit.
We must do this together. That was great.
But like the last that he saw her, she was like, "It's like, are you okay? Only hurt my pride. Trump. Stiff upper lip, British." So as far as he knows, they got down there, and I was just like, stick. They'll catch one of us.
Who does he go after? Santa Claus or Satan? Do you recommend
No,
it?
Mom. They'll be expecting one of us.
Yeah. Do you recommend the movie?
I'd say go watch it. I mean, it's still a fun flick. It's just got enough weird little shit to it that it just kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
It could have been better. That's my biggest thing. Is like, I mean, if I was rating it like a fucking grade in school, I mean, it's a solid B. It's a great effort. It has really good parts. It kind of loses you at parts. Like, honestly, like, there were a few times where I was just kind of losing a little bit of interest when some of it was just not... It felt like there's a lot of times where it wasn't actually going anywhere. Like, it wasn't progressing. Like, there was stuff happening, but it wasn't going in any direction. It was just, like, the wheels turning, waiting for, like, the next thing to kick in. Like if you're watching, like, a Rube Goldberg machine, like, there were parts where it was like, yeah, there's parts like, brick falls and smashes plates, and then it starts a little sailboat going down until it lights a match. But then there's parts where it's just like a little thing, like slowly lifting like a golf ball. Nothing's happening.
I liked it better than you did, because I never.
Clearly,
I did. I liked. Well, yeah. I mean, like I liked it better than you did. I didn't have that big of a problem with it. There wasn't many times where it really lagged for me. I mean, even in the slower moments, I was still very interested in what was going on. I was still hooked on what they were saying. I was still into the story of it and everything. So, I mean, yeah, I certainly agree that some of the references, like, some of them worked for me, but some of them didn't. And also, like we said earlier about how I kind of thought it was ending about a half hour, 40 minutes before it did.
Which I hate when movies do that.
But at the same, I mean, I felt that way here, but at least what was after that didn't lag for me. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely picked up, but yeah, I mean, that was like with The Dark Knight, not Rises, but with just The Dark Knight. That was one of my problems with that, is like, there are at least 3 points in that movie where I was like sitting there like, alright, time to... No.
Oh,
no.
I guess he is going to escape from jail.
Okay.
Oh.
Something else. Like, oh, okay, that was the.
That would have been really funny if that was the part in the Dark Knight when you thought it was ending was when the Joker gets arrested. Well, they're booking him. They're fingerprinting. He's got a hearing the next day. All right, we've wrapped this up. He's going to jail.
Who is he? I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Pulls back. Credits.
Justice was served.
But no, with that one, like, there were at least, like, 2 or 3 times when, honestly, I did think that it was, like, wrapping up, like, this is going to be, like, the final fade out. You know, because, I mean, with that one being the middle part of a trilogy, they usually leave something, like, wide the fuck open. So it's common for those to just not even really have an ending. Just kind of having, So, I mean, yeah, so I spent half that movie just sitting there almost getting out of my seat. And it bugs me. I don't keep the pacing going, or at least like have it like to where stuff seems a little bit more uncertain than that.
I'm fine. Like, it is distracting. I'm fine when the rest of the movie at least still works. And for me, here it did. I had a bigger problem with that. And this is a movie I loved. I thought it was one of the best movies of last year. Was the remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which honestly went on 20 minutes longer than it needed to. I loved that movie.
I honestly think they thought like the original was really fucking long. Let's do that.
Yeah. It went on. I thought that, and I saw the original before I saw the remake of it. I loved the remake. I loved David Fincher's movie. I thought it was a fantastic movie.
It could have been trimmed up a little bit.
When it got to like that last 20 minutes, I was sitting there like, really, this should have ended like 20 minutes ago, or at least kind of sped a lot of this up a little bit. Yeah. But so I had more of a problem with that in that movie. If we're keeping it a Daniel Craig movie.
Those only.
Yeah. Than I did here. Than I did here. Because here I was at least still highly fucking entertained by what was going on. But I think that's about all I got for it. You got anything else?
No. I mean, it's kind of like I said, I don't want to give the impression that I didn't like it. I mean, it was a good movie. It's just a couple like small things here and there, and I would have liked it.
It's no Die Another Day.
So much. Fuck yourself. That's all I got.
No, go ahead.
What was I saying? No, yeah, a couple small things. Just the in jokes. I mean, as serious as it was taking itself 99% of the time, it doesn't come across to me as cute and funny and like, oh, yeah, because those other movies happen too. It was just like, oh my god, stop with the fucking jokes.
So what you're saying is it didn't light Brian's fire?